to episode 6 of the Falling in Love with Food Again show with MasterChef winner during Devonshire and all-round plum and charity manager of Seed, Gemma Urton. Oh, so Jane, we did last time the most amazing recipe with the meatballs and the stew, and oh god, like I had just salivated. But now we're going to go to a bit more of a sweet tooth. Now, I'm not normally a sweet kind of gal because I'm sweet enough, but I'm however, I do love fruit. So this really makes me excited. What are we going to make today?
We're going to make today some roasted stone fruits, and we're going to use nectarines. You can use plums or peaches, whatever you want. But I'm like you, I don't have the sweetest of tooth, and particularly after I finished eating, the last thing I want to do is sit down and eat a big heavy cake or something really rich. So to me, this is the perfect recipe, and it's great if your mates come around because you can do it all beforehand, and it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is deal with these. Now, you don't want them so soft that they're not going to be able to cut them, but some nectarines are really hard. And what we're going to do, there's a natural line through the nectarine. If you see from the top, there's always one. So we're going to follow that round with our knife. And these roasted nectarines are going to go with an amazing crumble. And I'm going to make a boozy cream.
Woohoo!
I know. Which Gemma is really excited about this.
I'm so excited. I just can't have it.
So you have to think that they're going to fall out. Now, sometimes they don't, and I'm not going to pretend that they always come apart.
No, mine didn't.
Just use your teaspoon and gently work around the middle.
It's me going, oh! No wonder everyone does. Oh my God, Gemma.
And I really do want to show you that they don't always come out looking perfect, but this is what we want, yeah? And use your teaspoon. Sometimes the stone fruit we get in this country are not the best, so that's why I said use whatever you think is really lovely. At the moment, there's some beautiful plums around. When I sent you the recipe, there were some lovely nectarines. So
yes, and I found it hard to find them, but I did find them.
Yeah, it's the same with everything at the moment. I think it's not always as easy, but just work your way around that. And as I say, if they're not perfect, sometimes you twist them and they just come straight out, and other times they don't. These aren't. But I didn't want to pretend it was all. Some TV shows they go whoop, and it's all done.
I don't think you can like that with me, Jane. I don't
not like that. We know it's real life, and sometimes not everything's as easy as it should be. But as you use your teaspoon, you can work your way around the stone. Just pop it out. Say,
I haven't had nectarines in forever. See, such a nice fruit.
I love them, and I actually prefer them to peaches because I find the skin of a peach, that furry bit, a bit off-putting.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm very much into textures in my food, and therefore when something's a bit off, isn't to say they're not delicious. And when we go on holiday to Portugal, where we used to go with the kids when they were younger, this tiny little place, there was this lovely man in the restaurant who used to peel the kids' peaches and mine.
Oh, that's so cute.
Which doesn't happen often, but yeah, and much to my delight. So
I'm hoping to go to Portugal this year.
Oh, do you know, I went to Porto just before lockdown last year.
Yeah.
Just before it all kicked off, and it was one of the best places. I will go back. It was so beautiful. And I love the food in Portugal.
Oh, holidays. All these stones are not coming out. So while we're doing this, actually, Jane, if anybody new is coming along and hasn't watched the previous episodes, why did I do that? Why did I do that? The whole concept of this show is we want people to fall in love with food again.
Yes.
Whether that be that they've obviously with Seed Eating Disorder Support Services, it's the element of the eating disorder, but whether that be that they have had a eating disorder in recovery and we just want to try and get them back into the kitchen and make them feel safe and brave and realise that it's fun and it's not scary, or even whether that be somebody struggling right now and that joy of being able to cook, because they're concerned about other people's perceptions, has been taken away from them.
Mhm.
And then equally, anybody who has never suffered from an eating disorder or any form of disordered eating, to remember how wonderful cooking can be. And whether that be, you know, obviously in lockdown, it's been hard, like I live on my own, but whether that be if you are on your own, you can come and cook with us. That's the whole point. But also encouraging families to get together and do things, and couples. So that's the whole concept behind it. And obviously Jane is a massive, massive advocate for Celiacs UK. So a lot of her recipes as well, your recipes as well, include gluten-free and helping those who have got food allergies and celiacs. Because actually, just a little, like, not serious and too deep, but there is like quite a big connection with the fear of food coming through food allergies, and that can present itself into an eating disorder. So we just wanted to make a show that covered all bases, made everybody feel included, but ultimately showed that food isn't just about numbers and calories and all of those things. It can be about fun and just the pure love and enjoyment of cooking.
I totally agree, and I think that the thing to me about food is, and you probably just see me chuck a peach and it went boom straight in the sugar, and somebody will definitely, well, you're trying away, I went boom. That's the great thing, is if you do make a mistake, it's not life altering, it's not changing. Most things will still taste good even if they're not perfect. And actually, it's about the fun you can have in the kitchen and how it brings people together. You and I didn't know each other, and now after 6 hours of sitting there chatting with you and everything else over the last few weeks, you are friends over plates of food, and I think that's the best thing. People, if you break bread together, it's such a fundamental thing for us. So for me, it's something I'm so passionate about, and I just love it. You know how much I love it.
Well, you must do, because you put up with me, Jane. So, you know,
not quite that bad.
Oh,
when you have managed to halve your nectarines, and I don't think either Gemma or I did them well, but look, they're not perfect, you see, but that doesn't matter. They still look delicious, nice. And actually, these ones, I have to say, are one of those ones that you probably buy and they wouldn't necessarily ripen in the bowl. And that's so frustrating. So this is a great recipe to use these ones up that are a bit hard and a bit woody. Because it makes them really succulent and really nice to eat. So we're just going to put them in a pan that you can put in the oven, Gemma. You can't do these on the top. Can you put your oven on as well at about 180? You can do these on the top if you want, but I think they're just nice. It's one of those lovely things that, as I say, you can do the day before.
Can any pan?
Just heat up or have cold.
No, but like, is this pan oven safe? I have no idea.
No, it's got a plastic handle.
Oh, sure.
Have you got a roasting tin?
I won't do that.
Oh,
roasting pan. Or
no, it's not. It's got a plastic handle. A roasting pan's fine.
Or I've got that.
That'll work. Does that fit in your oven?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Brilliant.
I think it's called officially a saute pan.
Perfect. That goes. Anything that you can put in your oven is fine.
It's you. Move that. This is real life, Jane. When you've got a small kitchen, you know.
Never, don't put that in your oven. It'll melt.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
While you're doing that, I'm just going to put my thing on. Get my dog out. Stop howling.
Dear me.
What are you going
You know what? I wondered why there was a smell last time I did that. Kids, do not put plastic in the oven.
Of course we have. We've all done it. My favourite is roasting a chicken and it comes out with that piece of paper on the bottom. You know that they put it in the plastic tray.
Thank God. Okay, I feel better.
No, we all do it. We all burn rice and do stuff occasionally. That's the thing. It's not perfect. Never.
Right.
So we're going to put a little knob of butter on each of them.
Is your pan on?
No, I'm only putting it on here. We don't need this at the moment. I'm just putting on here as a work surface. So we're going to put it in the oven, okay? Let me move it out of the way. There. That's better. It makes it clearer.
And a little knob.
What I'm doing is using this because it's the right size pan to put for halves. So 4 nectarines halved. And all I'm going to do is literally put a little knob of butter, and sprinkle it with this lovely dark brown sugar. You can use other sugar if you want, but I think it smells different. You can smell it smells all malty. It's got that richness to it, toffee type flavour, caramel. So it goes really well. So we're going to put a nice sprinkle of that on the top.
Right.
It's nice.
I've got my knobs.
You got your knobs. There you go. That very technical term. Right, we're going to own up now. If you have not been cooking with us before, Gemma doesn't own scales. Very technical things of about that much and a knob or a teaspoon or whatever come into play. But I think it's quite charming, really, because that's how most of us cook in the kitchen without weighing everything out exactly. If you do want to know, I'd probably put about 75 grams of butter, 75 grams of soft brown sugar on there.
I am going to invest in some scales.
Thank you.
I promise you that.
Now you can put a little drop of water in there, or we're using alcohol for the grown-ups, if I can open it. You can use brandy. I've got a double slow gin here because I think that'll go really nice with the nectarine. You can use apricot brandy, anything you fancy, really.
Do you put a bit of gin in?
Yes, I've got slow gin. You've got damson. What have you got?
I've got
And a little splash of water.
I've got a tiny bit of white peach gin, or I've got a distilled bramble, blackberry and raspberry infusion.
Either will work, but I think the peach one would probably be better.
Peach?
Yeah. You can use anything that's brandy based or gin or whatever you're drinking, really. Rum works well.
How much did you put in?
Just a splash, probably a couple of tablespoons.
And did you put water in as well?
Yeah, again, just a splash, just so it's barely covering the bottom.
Okay.
You see? Like literally. Oh, it's just to stop it sticking, and we're going to get some lovely juice out of that as well. And you want to put them face up because you want them to keep their shape and not stick, yeah? So bottom down. And I'm not being funny, anything that smells that good before they go in the oven, going to taste good coming out the oven. Okay?
Indeed.
That's going to go in our oven, which is on 180, yeah?
And does it matter where it's placed in the oven?
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, Gemma, what did you say?
Does it matter where it's placed? Like, I always get confused. Like, should it be top? Should it be middle? Should it be bottom?
I think if you're baking cakes, it can make a difference. But with something like this, no. You'll be fine.
Right. And that's in. And how long does that need to go in for?
Now, this will be slightly dependent on how ripe your fruit is. Obviously, if your fruit is really ripe, it won't take as long to cook as if it's harder. Mine's harder, so I'm going to leave it for 8 to 10 minutes, I think, and we'll be done.
Well, that's in time.
Yeah. I'll set the time because we'll get chatting and forget it. Hey Siri, set timer for 8 minutes, please.
Your timer is set for 8 minutes.
Right. Okay. Now, your mum will love this, Gemma.
Oh, I bet she will.
Good old-fashioned crumble. But when we grew up, crumble is something you put on top of fruit.
Yeah.
I love it. Whenever I'm making desserts, I often just keep crumble in my fridge because you can put it on the top of a panna cotta, you can put it on top of roasted fruits or something. It just gives you a really lovely crunch to arrest Vietnamese texture.
Yeah.
So we're going to do just a little bit. So I've got 100 grams of, I'm using gluten-free plain flour.
Yeah.
Use ordinary plain flour in there. And I like oats in mine. I've got gluten-free oats, but again, you know, maybe not, 75 grams. And demerara sugar, I think, what have you got there?
Have I messed up? I've only got 50 grams
Of what?
of the oats.
That's fine, it'll be fine. It's just to add texture. And again, this is just roughly, it's one of those recipes that's very forgiving, Crumble. It's not like most of these. When you're cooking desserts, it can be very specific, but this isn't. Demerara sugar. If you only have granulated sugar, that's fine, but this sugar is much bigger grains and it gives a lovely syrupy flavour too. I think it's just nicer and crumbles.
So pop that in as well, yeah?
Yeah, I've got 75 grams of really cold butter, which I'm going to cube, and just take it out as soon as you can before, as close to cooking as you can. You don't want soft butter because it's not going to make it very easy. If you've got a food processor, you can throw this all in and it's done. But
So you don't want butter. This has been out for about an hour. Do I need a cold one? I've got a cold
I
one.
would use a cold one because it might make making a crumb a bit difficult.
Right. So you think it's the opposite, don't you? You think that like butter that's cool will be easier to, but it depends on the recipe.
As you pull it through your fingers, instead of making a crumb, if you've got butter that's too warm,
Yeah.
it will go into a mulch. So it will just go into like a biscuit almost, or dough. And what you want to do is you want to make that lovely crumb. So
And that is 100. How many grams?
100.
See, this was made for me because it shows you exactly where to cook.
I know, you just cut it on the lines. That's how you do it.
That is so clever.
No, a lot of people don't put the oats and the sugar in before they start doing this, but I actually prefer it because I think the texture of that helps it easier to get your crumble mixture. And I'm hoping you can see here, I'm using cold butter, using my fingers to work through the flour. You just got to keep going. It's very good for the fingers, this, so you get achy hands. And keep going until you make a lovely crumb.
I think I'm not used to that, like with the typing and emails, and like you said the other week that you've got asbestos hands, didn't you?
I do.
I think I've got strong fingers from typing at the moment.
Well, I do from the cooking, but I have a weakness in my right side because one of my operations involved quite serious. You know, they cut through my nerves and stuff on my right side. So I often do this sort of thing using a food processor.
Right.
So one of the reasons I originally bought my mixer and stuff is because I can't do it a lot of it by hand anymore. But stuff like this, it's still, I think the first time you cook something, or we will do a pastry at some stage, I'm sure.
Oh, duh.
It's really good to do it by hand so you get to know what it should look like before you sling it in the machine.
Yeah.
So we're literally just going through like this, crumble it, yeah?
You haven't done the flakes yet, have you?
Sorry?
You haven't done the flaked almonds yet, have you?
No. No, because that would make it a bit difficult to do this. We're going to add them at the last. So you just working quickly, keep that on. Yeah, and if you can imagine, if you've got really soft butter, all you're going to end up with is mush.
Yeah.
So you want this crumb. My nanny make it hot, cold hands, make light pastry and biscuits and things.
Ah.
So now we all live in hot houses, so
Yeah. I bet it was a bit different back then.
Yeah. Now you can do this without the oats in, but I like the texture that oats and nuts brings to this. We're going to use almonds because I think almonds and peach and nectarine works really well.
Yeah.
But if you're using a different stone fruit, try different nuts in it. Macadamia work lovely. You know, almonds, all sorts of different things. Hazelnuts are lovely. So you, again, make it your own. I've also put a pinch of salt in here.
Right.
Because I think most desserts need...
I'll do that in a minute.
A little bit of salt. Right, so mine, let me have a look, is now a lovely crumb. Yeah? Yeah, I've got a few bigger bits in there, but that's fine. But most of it is all lovely. And it's got that lovely golden oasty colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, I think mine's probably about right. Even if there are some bigger bits, it's all right.
There are always a few bigger bits, and that's fine because the whole idea of a crumb. Now, you could easily put that on top of an apple crumble or anything to make your crumble, and that would be fine. But we're just going to put it on a tray and roast it in the oven so it's golden. And I'm going to add about 2/3 of the nuts to that, Gemma, and just sort of do them through. And we're going to keep the last bit to sprinkle over the top of the dessert for a bit of, you know me, everything has to have a little bit of decoration.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, so just toss those through. I'm just going to wash my hands and get my baking tray. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because you can toss it over. Mine's quite big because that's the size that goes in my oven. It comes with baking trays in it. But any baking tray will do.
Oh,
perfect.
Oh my God.
What have you done?
The oven and the alcohol.
Oh, good for you. It's Thursday. You're allowed alcohol on a Thursday, aren't you? Is that how you know?
That gin has just knocked my head off. Wowee, that's going to be amazing.
No, you can taste. But you don't have to do that. And if you can actually just put fruit juice in if you want.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to use the alcohol, a little bit of fruit juice works really well. Right. Let's go check our peaches and nectarines even.
You'll get to know me. That's not an option. Fruit juice is it's not an option.
Mine, because the nectarines themselves were quite hard, I'm going to set my timer again, aren't anywhere near done. But as we spoke about earlier, fruit, different, depends how ripe the fruit is.
Yeah.
So mine still needs a bit longer. I'm going to put it on again.
Just out of interest, did you put anything on the baking tray? Like in terms of oil or...
No, we put that little bit of water and a little bit of alcohol in. And
no,
fruit.
Crumble.
Oh, no, just straight in, because you've got the butter in there. That's going to go in the oven with the nectarines, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's going to cook for about 8 minutes. We are going to just turn it over until it's nice and golden.
And does it matter if it doesn't fill the full baking tray?
Sorry?
Does it matter if it doesn't fill the full baking tray?
No. When it's nice and loose, and just shake it out and sling it in the oven.
Right, going in, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. And as I say, that will heat in the fridge in a Tupperware once you've baked it for a good 3 to 4 days.
Right.
So if you can sprinkle it on top of your porridge, you can sprinkle it on fruit, you can use it on anything you want, really. And I think over this time of year it's rather lovely, because if you do get a panna cotta or something, you could just sprinkle it on it. That gives it a little bit of texture.
Love it.
Next thing, we're going to make our lovely syrup. Your lovely boozy syrup. That I know you've been really looking forward to.
I'm guessing I don't need a big pan for this, do I? Just a little.
No, not at all. No, definitely not. And I'm going to cheat, because we all love a good cheat. So I'm going to strain a tin of peaches. Hang on. Use your fingers if you want. Just the syrup into my pan.
Syrup, right?
Yeah. Don't waste those peaches. Let's use them in something. If you've got a blender, you can actually cook them with it and blend it down to almost like a jam. But we know we haven't. So
I've got the peaches in their own juice. That's the right one.
Yes, definitely. Fresh peaches in their own juice.
Right, am I turning it on? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Not like I did last time and turned it off.
No. Definitely turn it on. And to that, we're going to add, believe it or not, a couple of spoons of sugar, because we want the syrup. Oh, that's cooking rather quickly.
some sugar, you say, yeah?
Yeah, just 2 teaspoons. If you want some colour in this, which I think is a really nice idea, you can either put a couple of raspberries in or add a little bit of red food colouring or something if you want that pretty colour to go through your peaches. But I'm just going to leave it clear because actually I think it's quite nice to just fold it through, but it's up to you. And we're going to bring that to the boil. Boil it down until it's reduced by about half.
So this is how you make syrup, is it?
Well, there are other ways. You can do it with fruit juice or bring down orange juice with sugar. But yeah, really. And you can see, I think it's boiling really quite ferociously.
Yeah.
But just be careful and do keep stirring because it's going to go pretty quickly. And this is boiling sugar, so be careful. This is a cheats version of how to make syrup. So you could do this with a tin of raspberries with all sorts of fruit juice out of the tin. So you get that lovely peachy flavour, I think. Hopefully. I grew up eating
Say again.
I grew up eating tin fruit, so
Yeah.
it was like a staple.
Oh no, I still eat it like today.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love rice pudding. I love eating cold tinned rice pudding. Is that odd?
No, I eat mine hot, but my nanny always used to serve it with prunes.
Oh.
Those prunes in a tin, and they are so good. I don't know why they've gone out of fashion because they are really, really good.
Right. Never run out of fashion in my eyes. They're amazing.
Give me 2 secs. You see some of my dogs in.
Doggy duties.
So this is my, as I say, this is my cheats version of syrup.
Excuse me, I'm all about cheating in the right context if it saves time, but not if it hurts other people.
I agree.
Right, so mine's bubbling. Is that all right?
How's your nectarines? How are your nectarines looking? I think mine still need a couple of minutes.
How would I know?
Well, if you've got a small knife or a cocktail stick,
Yeah.
if you go in and it pierces them all the way through and they're lovely and soft and they're cooked.
Right. I think 2 more minutes and they'll be done.
I'm the same. Okay, and I think this is done. Bearing in mind when it cools, it will be a lot thicker. So if you look, it's coating the back of my spoon.
Right.
And it's much thicker. And if you look at it, it's less than half the quantity than it was because I boiled it quite ferociously. It's really quite thick, like glucose. And if
Turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off. Let me put colour in so you can see what I'm showing you. So I'm literally going to put a bit of red food colouring mine.
Yeah.
So that I can show you what I mean. It being a ribbon effect. It'll look pretty in the cream, but it is only colouring. And as I say, you could have added a few raspberries or something if you want a red colour, but so what I want to show you is if I go like this on the pan,
Yes.
it takes a while, it makes a ribbon, yeah?
Mine's not doing that yet.
Well, then you need to cook it a bit more.
Cook it a bit more.
Yeah.
And if my peaches are done, do I take them out
Yeah.
but leave the crumble in?
Yeah, because the crumble probably needs a bit of a stir and a shake up. Make sure it stays nice and golden brown and just come in from the edges. Yeah, so take the edges and put them to the middle and stir the crumble around a bit.
Right. Yeah.
Good. Now, I want you to just add a splash of alcohol to this syrup. And taste it. Now, you can add, if you add it in at the beginning, that's fine, but alcohol burns off, and I actually wanted this to taste full of alcohol, if that makes sense.
So, did you put the brandy in?
Yeah, just doing it now. And literally a splash, but
you did it on the coal when you turned it off, didn't you?
yes. And the reason is because alcohol burns off, so if you want that taste of your brandy or your alcohol, add it when it's cold. What we've got now is this lovely, thick, still a bit warm, but it's still a lovely syrup. Perfect drizzling. Yeah? Woo-hoo. Okay. And just give it a taste when you can. Make sure it's cool enough to taste. And that you're happy with the alcohol. And you can still, I think you'll still taste quite a strong peachy flavour too from the fruit. Yeah, good. Bit more. I added a bit more too.
That's lovely.
Good. See, now that's not the proper way to make syrup, but it's a cheats way and it works and it tastes
Works for me.
We're happy? I'm just going to test my nectarines and my crumble. Turn my crumble over. Done.
Yeah. Heaven. I'm in heaven.
Okay, so I think my fruit is done. And if you can see, it's kept its shape, but if you pierce it with a knife or it literally just goes straight the way through.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah? Fab.
Oh my God.
Good.
Oh.
So we're going to put some of that cooking liquor in with our syrup.
Right.
Not all of it because it's a bit buttery, but
Yeah.
I think you just want to put a little tablespoon or something to add a bit of extra. Oomph. Yeah, that technical term, oomph. But we don't want to waste it. I'm going to put my nectarines. Yeah, I don't want to put all of it in there because I think there's a little bit too much butter and it might spoil it.
Did you turn your peaches over?
No. No, I cut them all on one side because I really don't want. Now, my syrup is obviously red because I put red food colouring in to show you, but you can see it's a lovely, drizzly texture. Taste it.
Mm.
How we doing?
Oh, sorry, I'm just eating.
She's my... You're terrible. You're going to have it all eaten by the time you get on there.
Oh, I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Oh, nearly there. We need to whip our cream.
Yes.
Now, I have got in here 150 mils of double cream, a couple of teaspoons of Castor sugar, and I've got vanilla bean paste. You've got vanilla bean essence. I tend to use the paste because it's actually got the actual vanilla bean, black speckledy bits in there, but it really doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. You can add in this if you want a little bit of almond essence or something, if you want to give it a little bit more almond flavour. But we're just going to make chantilly cream. So we're going to whip that now so it's soft whip. Yeah?
Yeah.
Gemma's going to use her muscles and I'm going to use my kitchen.
Oh, it might look slight, but looks can be deceiving.
So, might be done in about 3 seconds. Excuse the noise.
Just a word of warning, if it all starts going mad, it's because Ruby's back from daycare in about 10 minutes. So we might have a crazy dog coming in. She can't hear me. Oh, Jack, there's one for the bloopers.
So, got it. You want your cream. So literally, it's a lovely, you don't want it over whipped. It's lovely and soft and billowy, but it will hold its shape, yeah?
Yes, I think I've done it.
There you go. Oh gosh, you're nearly as quick as me in my KitchenAid. Muscles. I'm impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, done.
I don't want to over whip it, but it just needs to be like consistency where it stays.
Just a nice soft whip. Okay.
Like that.
Perfect. Oh. Wow. I'm impressed. Check my crumble.
Oh, look at me, mother. Look at me. Oh. Oh. Woo. Crumble. Crumble. Oh, wow. Wowza Magoo.
Okay. Now, nobody wants burnt nuts. So, we don't want to take it too far.
Oi.
No burnt nuts.
We'll get up to one of the night time, Jane, but we'll be having none of that here.
Okay. So, we're going to keep an eye on our nuts. And I think my crumble is only a couple of minutes to wait, if that.
Me too.
And then we just got to leave it cool a bit. We should be ready to start plating.
How do you, wait, what should we plate it on? What do I plate it on?
I'm going to use this bowl, I think. This pretty
Right.
bowl. But you use whatever you like.
I know.
I want to see this because I've just got it out of the oven and it's really lovely and soft and flaky and
Yeah.
it's a lovely golden brown. Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for.
I think mine's done then.
Yep. It's very easy to overburn. You don't want it to go glitter.
Right. Put that on there.
Okay. So. How are we doing?
I think I'm there.
Good. Now, we can fold your syrup through your cream, but quite often I don't think it always works very well.
Yeah.
It needs to be a lot more jammy to work, and we wanted this lovely boozy syrup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of, how many in a portion? 3, I think, don't you?
3.
Yeah. Put a nice bit of crumble on the bottom. Sorry, should have said that first.
Crumble on the bottom.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then put our lovely roasted nectarines, and they do look, I don't know about you, they look really yummy, don't they? Look, they're gorgeous golden.
Oh, mine look good actually. I can't believe it.
Good.
Oh, hang on.
Hey. And to show you how to do a quenelle.
Oh, duh. I see this all the time on cooking shows, and when you I had to go into the professional kitchen, you know, when you did like the professional,
Yeah.
and so many people struggle with it, don't they?
I know. I'm not the best at it. I can't do it. It's a bit easier. So, but all you do is you take 2 spoons.
Yeah.
And you just use the spoons to shape your cream into a lovely, can you see? For now. So you're using your 2 dessert spoons.
Yeah.
You can splodge it on if you want, but I just will be a bit of fun to shape your cream and then just place it on your plate. I've now got 2. Right.
Oh dear.
How are we doing?
Oh, not good.
Yes, you are.
Not good.
You always say that. Drizzle over a really nice, you know, generous portion of your syrup.
Oh,
I think.
wow.
And then we're just going to finish it off with some of your flaked almonds that we left over earlier. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
How you doing?
Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself.
Let's have a look.
I don't. I dare tip it. Hang on. I'll tell you what I'll do.
You show me the camera.
Can you see?
Oh, Gemma! Yay! Perfect. Look.
Whoop whoop.
Same.
Oh,
There you go.
God, I'm so happy.
And off you go. Try.
Now to try it. Oh,
Dying to try this one.
I'm excited.
Oh no. So you need a spoon and a fork.
I bet your son's glad he's back home now.
Oh, do you know what? I don't think he knew. I really don't think he knew when he saw the fridge. He was like, wow. You could do that when people come around for dinner, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to take a photo of that bad boy.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, that's good.
Holy guaca, peach, and nectarine moly.
There you go.
Hang on. Just going in. Bit of cream.
Going in. Cream. Make sure you get a nice little sauce. So I think today's 2 episodes might be your favourite 2 so far. We like.
Wow.
Good.
But do you know what I think it is as well? I think I might actually be improving a little bit.
You are. I don't think you are anywhere near as bad as you think you are. I think it's lack of confidence.
Yeah.
When you talk through the steps, something that looks really complicated, if somebody showed you that, you think, I can't do it. When you talk through the steps and break it down, nothing's difficult.
Oh my God.
It's really easy.
Thank you so much. Anybody who is thinking of getting involved and carrying on with this cooking journey with us, please do, because it's so worth it. If you've been with us from the start, like, amazing, because I know actually, Jane, thank you, because even though like I'm recovered and I'm well, there is still a recovery after recovery, you know, like where you just forget all of those things that are normal and that I should be doing, and you just end up sort of like eating out, or you just end up like with a chef, like, I don't know, bulk cooking, because you just think, well, no, I don't deserve it. And actually, this is so nice and so fun, and I'm getting so much more confident with it. So from me to you, thank you for helping me to fall in love with food again.
That makes everything worthwhile, and nothing is complicated. This can all be done the day before. And so when your guests come, you can just warm through the peaches in a microwave or nectarines in a microwave, warm the syrup up, and it's done. Or you can just treat yourself. And actually, that's my biggest thing as well. This should not only be for when you've got other people around. Cook it for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And any kids who are out there cooking with the parents as well, you know, please make sure you be open with the conversation and educate kids about eating disorders. We've got our eating disorder educational toolkit that we're, you know, getting into schools, and it's making such a huge difference to children, not just in terms of educating them about eating disorders, but just about how to look after themselves mentally and physically.
Yep.
So Jane, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see what you're going to come up with next time. I love you. And let me know when you're in Clapham so I can take you to El Metro.
Definitely. That sounds like a day. And thank you, because this is just a joy to do. And I'm so loving it. So let's hope we just get a few people involved with food, and you can see the joy it brings everyone. So cheers all.
Lots of love. Bye.